So I'm going to do something a little bit different to usual, and instead of covering a movie, I'm actually going to cover a collection of short films. The Etheria Film Festival is held in Kansas every year, and it showcases a bunch of short films directed by women. The genres can range from fantasy to action to sci-fi to all in between. But this year, it was predominantly represented by horror, so much so that the best 7 were put into a collection and put on Shudder. Now, this is a really great film festival because, and I like watching short films, the reason being, you usually get to see like the next generation of filmmakers, right? Like Damien McCarthy, his stuff started as short films. You know, the Raka Raka Boys, they started making short films. That's how most people start out. This film festival has alumni like Prano Bailey-Bond, who made Censor, Natalie, Erika, James, who made one of my favorite haunted house films of all time, Relic. You've got Chloe Okuno, who made The Watcher with Micah Monroe, which is a fantastic psychological thriller. And most recently, you've got Mercedes Bryce Morgan, who coincidentally came out with Bone Lake this year, and which I covered a couple of days ago. So this is a really good starting point for amazingly talented directors in the horror space. So I thought I'd just give you a rundown of each of the films. I think it's a pretty strong showing this year. So let's get to it. So the first short is Speak with the Dead by Stephanie Paris. I love the Conjuring movies, but I fucking hate real life Ed and Lorraine Warren. I love fake Ed and Lorraine Warren. They are some of my favorite people in horror. But the real Ed and Lorraine Warren were fucking charlatans, right? They were absolute bullshit artists. And this short feels like a what if, right? What if one of their bullshit psychic readings, an actual ghost rocked up? It's quick. The ghost effects are really, really good. It's quite scary at parts. I was like, oh shit, these guys are pretty creepy. And I think the 2 young women who are the leads absolutely knock it out of the park, right? I am fascinated by the obsession with the occult that happened around the time that this short film is set. You know, people used to hold parties and have like Ouija boards, just play with Ouija boards and have seance parties and all that. And I think we should bring that back because that's fucking dope. But it's just really interesting to see like charlatans get their comeuppance, and I really, really liked this one. So second film off the bat is A Green Affair by Rebecca Thompson. I was delighted to hear Aussie accents when this movie started. I was like, oh, fuck yeah. As someone who was in a relationship with an Australian plant lady, I was like, oh, this might be relatable to me. It's not. It's not relatable to me. This movie gets fucking crazy, right? This is like Titan with houseplants. It's Rose, she loves her houseplants, right? She looks after them really well. She tells them all the things her dipshit husband doesn't tell her, like, you're beautiful, you're worth it, you're amazing. You know, all the shit she doesn't hear from her husband, she says to these houseplants. One day, Rose suspects that her husband is being unfaithful, and she turns to her favorite houseplant and fern, Boston, for support. Boston is far too supportive from Boston. This is a wild fucking movie. I loved it. This is absolutely batshit. It's funny. It's kind of sad. It's got some really good body horror and gore in it. I just love this movie. I thought it was really, really good. It's such a fun watch. So the next one is Yuri by Yerkazan by Zan. I'm sorry, I've probably cooked that, but I'm doing my best. So this is probably my least favorite of the collection, and that's only because when this gets really good, it just ends abruptly. Like, this is so short that I was like, no, I need more. This has the potential to be the most stressful and scariest film of the entire bunch because it is similar in themes to the movie Pihu. I don't know if anyone's seen the Indian movie Pihu. That is one of the most stressful movies I've ever watched. It's one of the few movies that I had to turn off and then calm myself down and then turn back on again. It's so fucking stressful. It's like PG or G rated, and it fucked me up. This short film follows a mother who has to leave town for work for a few days, so she leaves her kid with her elderly grandmother. Her elderly mother is mute because I think she's had a stroke. Like, that's the vibe I got. While the grandmother is looking after this kid, something unthinkable happens. It's horrible. It's like a parent's worst nightmare. And it's fucking stressful. This movie, I was like, oh no, the whole time. If this movie had an extra minute or two on it, this would have been the scariest fucking movie in this whole collection. But I think it just ended a little bit too abruptly. Like when it got really good, I was like, oh no, and then it just ended, and I was like, ah. So, but it is good. The premise is solid. So I'm hoping maybe I'm hoping it gets pulled into a feature length, because I'll 100% be there for that. So Lola by Grace Hanna. This is not really a horror. It's more like a after school sci-fi special, to be fair. But it brought me a lot of joy, so I'm going to cover it anyway. It's so innocent and sweet. This is about a young girl who is a bit of a science genius, and she is trying to save the memories of her grandmother Lola, who has dementia, right? She has built a magic school bus-like device that allows the two of them to go into basically Lola's mind bank with all her memories. It's like a library. It's set up like a library. And basically she's trying to save Lola's memories, right? They do really cute stuff together to try and spark the memories back, like karaoke and stuff. And it's probably the least polished film on this list, but it's just so sweet. It is heartbreaking. It is optimistic. It's adorable. It's just, I really like this one. It brought me the most joy out of any film on this list, I reckon. And I really like the lab. The lab's set up almost like Frankenstein's lab. There's lots of colorful lights and levers and knobs, and it's really cute. This is a really great film. It's heartbreaking, but it's cathartic. So the next one is Gaslighter by Virginia Powers Hendry. This is a home invasion thriller about basically a woman trying to trust her instincts despite being gaslit by her husband. Non-believing boyfriends are a fucking massive thing in horror. This motherfucker might take the cake, right? Like, I hate non-believing boyfriends in horror. This guy might be one of the worst ones. This woman comes home from work. While she's on the phone to her husband, she realizes that the front door is unlocked. She is really worried about this. She thinks someone might be in the house, but her husband's on the phone being like, you probably just forgot to lock it. You know, you're a bit forgetful. And basically the next 7 to 8 minutes is us trying to work out if someone is in the house or if she's just forgetful like the boyfriend said. This is awesome. I really like this one. I thought it was really good. There is a point in this movie where the storyline branches. And in theory, like if someone explained that to you, you'd be like, I don't really like that. That shouldn't work. But I actually really liked it in this because it gave me a really satisfying ending that I was hoping for. And it was almost like a choose your own adventure with on screen. So I really quite enjoyed that. I thought this one was tense. It was the emotional manipulation worked. And you know, it's everything you want from a short film called Gaslighter. Data by Amy Hoffman. This is a horror comedy about a dude named Jacob, so 10 out of 10, no notes. I'm just kidding. It's about professional jealousy between partners. It's about the feeling of being infantilized while your partner's the breadwinner. It has themes of toxic masculinity, creative integrity, male insecurity. It also wonderfully touches on the stupid shit that men will say and do to each other to like hype themselves up. It's a bit of a piss take on that Andrew Tate masculinity bullshit. It's also about ego. It feels like a bit of a mix between, there's a little bit of the substance in there, there's a little bit of everything everywhere all at once, there's a little bit of Fight Club. I really like this. They weaponize domestic duties in this short film a little bit. And it really like makes you see like, oh, this is how this happens in, I would call them trad households, traditional households. Really, really interesting, which was, that was especially prolific in older generations than ours or mine. It's quite interesting to see. I really like this one. Another thing I really liked about it is that there are body horror and sci-fi elements, and everyone in the world just sort of like takes them and goes, yeah, That's a thing that happens, except for the main character who's like, what the fuck? I can't believe this is happening to me. And I really like that. I really like this one. I hope it gets made into a feature in some capacity because I thought it was a great premise. So Praying Mantis by Mackenzie Breeden. This was by far the most tense and scariest of the bunch for me. This is set during the Civil War when a deserter soldier flees and he breaks into the house of two young women to basically steal their supplies. He has a gun with him, so although he tells the women, like, I'm not going to hurt you, I just want food, I'm just going to rest here for a bit, I'm just going to try to clean my wound. They accommodate him, but it's not really a choice, right? Like, it feels like a bit of a hostage situation. From there, things get black as midnight. All right, this short film gets pretty fucking dark. I wish this was longer because I really wanted to know about these women. They're really interesting characters. They're cousins. I want to know how they got there. I want to know what their motive is. I want to know why they're doing the things they're doing. I really like this one. This is probably my favorite of the bunch. I mean, I love period pieces, so this fits that. But it was really good. There's a bit of gore in it, which I liked. A bit of blood. I found this one really good. I hope it gets made into a feature because it's a terrifying concept. It sort of has the same tension as something like Revenge by Coralie Farge has, because the isolation is part of the danger, and you sort of know that the characters are in danger because you're like, you're isolated, you're sort of at the whims of this man, but you can't help but just go, all right, here we go, like knuckle down, here's what's going to happen. And this kept it interesting. This went to places I didn't think it was going to go. And I really liked that. So that is day 21 in the books. Let me know if you've seen any of these. Short films and like anthology series they're kind of like Sundays for me, right? Like I don't often feel like them, but when I do, I want like fucking 100 of them in the row, right? Like they're all I consume for a little bit and then I go back to normal. I found this amazing. I really like the Etheria Film Festival because it's such a good breeding ground for horror directors. It's got such a high... the quality is so high, even though the budgets are so fucking low. Like, obviously, this doesn't have the budget of something like VHS Halloween, but they're just so interesting. It's really cool. And I would imagine some of these might get made into feature films. And it's cool to be like, oh my God, I saw that short. This is now a full movie. Fuck yeah. So I highly recommend that. If you have any of your favorite anthologies, chuck them at me because I'll probably watch one or two this year. I'll probably dive into VHS Halloween. But if you've got some favorite anthology series, chuck them my way because I'll love to cover them and I'm in the mood for it. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for another review. Peace.